Hello, congregation members. We are here. This is Church of Joshi. Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are your High Priestesses, Alex, my lovely co-host, Kayla, and we are joined by the amazing, the wonderful, we're so excited to have her, Charli Evan. How are ya?
I'm so good. How are you guys?
Oh, so good.
Better
It's
now.
10 a.m. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. where you are. We appreciate you taking the time for us.
No, thank you.
Better now. As we've been talking before we started the show, we are big fans of Charli. As many of you know, she's already had her moments in Japan. And she's a big Joshi fan herself. So, welcome on. How are you? What's going on?
I'm stoked. I'm so happy.
You've got something secret coming up. That's why you're here. So not only are we here to talk to Charli about Joshi, that's what we do. We talk about Joshi. We watch Joshi. But Charli's got something. When I found out about this, Alex found out first, and when she told me, when she said what it was, like the term of what you're releasing, I didn't even have to blink before I knew exactly what it was inspired by. So we'll get into it, but tell us what you're doing.
So yeah, I'm releasing a 44-page photo book inspired by the B-Bomb photo book that Manami Toyota released in 1996.
Oh my god.
So I know, I am so excited. So like this all kind of started, I was in Japan, and I was like on one of my days off, I would just like wander around Tokyo, and I found a little wrestling store, and they had like these different little like boxes of just like loose photos, and I sat on the floor and I was like looking through them all, and I found one of like Satomura when she was like 18, and it was really cool.
Baby Miko. We've watched Baby Miko before.
It looks so cute. I love it. It's so scary. And I kept looking through it, and I found this photo of Manami Toyota, and she was just like in leather and lace, and it was just like this, it was like this big, it was like a tiny little photo, and I was like, wow. Like I was just like, my breath was taken away. It was just beautiful. And I left there, and for the next like year, I tried to figure out where this like photo came from, and I was like searching like Manami Toyota black and white photos, Manami Toyota like nude photos, like I was trying to find all this shit, and I was like, where did this come from? And I finally found like the B-Bomb book, and then I was like, okay, I need to own this, because there's only like a certain amount of photos from it online, like you can't really see them all. And I finally found the book, and I was like, okay, it was like $200 because they're very rare to come across.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, birthday, you know what, this is worth it, I'm going to buy it. And I got it, and it's like my prized possession. It's like on display in my room.
I love that.
And it's beautiful. Like it's so, she looks so powerful, but so like, intimate and vulnerable at the same time. And I just like really loved that. It was so different to anything I'd ever seen for like merchandise before.
So I told Alex this recently, but I have like a big regret. I found that book on eBay. It's been probably within the last 2 years, and it was only like $50, and I didn't buy it. But Alex knows, since I started getting into Joshi, Manami Toyota is my favorite, and that whole book, that all of the photos, when you say like, she looks really powerful, I think that's like part of who Manami Toyota was. She had those soft, beautiful features, but then when she got into the ring, or when she got into like in front of a camera, like she would just turn into an absolute smoke show. And it was just the juxtaposition between like the really like rock and roll leather BDSM outfits that she did versus like her beauty was just such a beautiful. I'm so excited to see this. Because you are just, come on, she's a babe. She's beautiful.
It's very similar to Manami's like style in the ring as well, right? When she comes out, she has these like the robes, the entrance gear coming in, but when she's in the ring, like she's lethal.
Yeah.
So what was the process coming up with your own book?
Yeah, so
inspiration.
I got the book and I was just like, I would just look through it like all the time, and I think it was just so like so classy, and it was so different to, you know, me growing up watching wrestling, you know, in the Divas era. And it was very, you know, just like in your face, sexualized stuff, which is great as well. Fucking love that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just so different to what I had ever seen. And I was looking more into it and I was like, oh, okay, she was 25 when she put this book out. And I think I was maybe like 23 at the time, 22, 23 at the time. And I was like, oh, for my 25th, imagine if I, you know, like not recreated, but like, you know, paid tribute to this book and released my own. And I had this idea for ages and I was like, oh, I don't know if I, you know, have the confidence to do that or if it would sell or anything like that. But like, regardless of that, you know, it would be so cool to look back on in 40, 50 years time and be like, okay, like, look how hot I was like when I was 25.
This feels like very much like not only a love letter to Manami Toyota, but one to yourself as well. Like getting in front of that camera and putting yourself out there. And listen, we've all seen your photos. You are you look incredible, even, you know, just in your streetwear. Like, you've got an incredible sense of style. And I mean, come on.
Thank you.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so
it's
good.
A lot. It's out there. But yeah, I was like, okay, maybe for my 25th I'll do it. And then it was getting closer to that. So I contacted James Musselwhite in November of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I kind of was like really like considering doing it, I was like, okay, Musselwhite is the person to do it because his photos are just so good. Like everything he puts out is so good. And he's not really like involved in wrestling anymore. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, like I had this idea. It's very different. It's very out there. Like, if you guys would like to do it, I would love to do it with you. And I sent him some photos from the book. And he was like, yes, absolutely. Like, this is so different and so unique. Like, we'd really love to work with you. So it's him and his wife, Fliss. And, you know, we started talking about it, started kind of planning out what we were going to do. We didn't want to obviously like exactly copy like every photo from her. Like, we wanted to like kind of spin it into my own way.
Yeah.
And, you know, we started planning outfits and stuff like that. And then we shot it, funnily enough, like I didn't actually even realize it. The day we shot the book was actually the day she retired.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be.
That's
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know. Like, we finished the shoot and I got on the train to head back home and I looked at Twitter and it popped up that like it was the same day she retired. And I was like, the fucking stars are aligned. Like, this is like meant to be.
Oh my God.
That's a beautiful moment.
That is a beautiful moment. Coming full circle and finally like building up the confidence of like, I'm gonna do this. I'm a badass. I'm gonna do this. So people can look at it years later and then to find out like it is full circle.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. I know. So like, it kind of was like a few months of planning and then we did the shoot and it was like a 9-hour shoot. It was long to get all these photos. Yeah, it was crazy. But
was it just like a whole bunch of like wardrobe changes and all that?
Kind of like changes. Like, they have this amazing studio. They've just recently purchased it in the last year, I would say. And it's just so good. Like, you feel so comfortable. Like, I feel so comfortable around James and Fliss. So I think that was, you know, a really big part of it. Like, I had to be with someone that I was comfortable around. Otherwise, it's just not going to come out the way that I want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just so helpful. Like, Fliss was so good with like wardrobe and stuff like that. And James is just a genius. Like, I swear, the third photo he took, we looked at it and we're like, oh, there's the cover. Like, it was that. He's just so good. And, you know, they really like saw my vision as well. And I think that was so important. Like, it was just such like a good collaboration between all three of us. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then like, you know, him sending over all the photos and me having to choose them was really hard. Yeah, like originally I think we were going to do like a 24 page and there was just too many like that I was just in love with. So
it's a great problem to have.
I was just going to say, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah, I look good in this. I look good in this. I look like, yeah, screw it. Don't choose. Just do all of them.
Yeah, and I'm just so excited to release, you know, like a different alternative to, you know, like just a wrestling shirt and an 8x10. And I think that's really like important, you know, as a brand to start, you know, offering different things to people because so many wrestling shirts are fucking so ugly. And
You're
You know what I mean?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You are far from wrong.
And I think I've tried, you know, I've like starting, especially like when me and Millie were tagging with Medusa Complex, you know, we were really like, okay, let's release shirts and 8x10s that people, you know, are proud to wear and own and have. And I think this is like the epitome of something that people should be really proud to own. You know, it's a piece of art, it's a coffee table book, it's somewhere you like, you know, you put in your house. So I think that's just like a really different thing that no one's really offering right now.
Well, it shows a lot about your creativity as well, because you're right. I mean, we've done our own merchandise, and it's easy to throw out a t-shirt, but to put in the level of like effort and heart into something that's like an actual physical piece, like, I mean, yeah, it's art. This is probably going to be super, like, this will be something you cherish for sure. Like, this is a keepsake for you. It's a part of it's a part of your legacy.
Oh, I hope so. I hope people, you know, I hope people find it in like 20 years, you know, like I found hers, and pick it up and are inspired by it.
And then they go watch some Charli Evans matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we feel when we watch you in the ring and we watch like what you do, because like, man, you are an incredible badass. Like, you are such a badass. And so like seeing some of those photos, like there are a few photos of the Manami Toyota photo book on it's like easy to Google. And so there's this one photo of her where she's like sitting on like stairs, and there's like a panther. Yeah. We're just like, what the heck is this? Yeah. Like, instantly my gay radar is like, okay, yep, bisexual for sure, you know. But even like with her and all of her matches in Manami Toyota, like she leaves behind such a huge legacy. And like, you've done that in wrestling. You've done that in like the Australian scene, but when you come over here, you come to the UK, you come to America, like you put such a huge stamp and you leave such a mark in wrestling.
I mean, come on, you were probably everybody's favorite part of, you know, post-COVID comebacks. Charli Evans is in America. The ultimate love story. We all cried.
Yeah.
We all cried.
So to have this under your belt, and it's something that you've been working on, and it's something that you've been inspired by another wrestler who, like, all across the board, like from us especially, we adore and you adore. So like, also this is gonna be a great conversation piece in my house. So thank you. When I get the book.
For real.
Yeah. So excited to get it. She's like, oh my god, when's it out? I want to order one already.
When is it out? When is it out?
It's out on the 9th of June. So only a few days away, which is terrifying and scary, but I'm excited. And it's going to be all available through Muscle Photography's store. But all the links to it will be posted on my socials. If you're on my OnlyFans, you'll get a 20% discount. So if you want to sign up to that, you can get 20% off. And then if not, I'm going to probably do a like pre-order from the 9th for a few days, and that'll be a 10% off discount before they're just full price. But there's very limited stock. So I'm really hoping that they go, because very, very limited.
Yeah. And if you're watching this on YouTube, we will have all of her information linked in the description below. Once we get the link and we're able to release the link, we'll add that down there for you. You're probably watching this on the 7th. So it might not be down there, but check back on the 9th. Make sure you'll see all of her socials linked down. So when are we going to see you back in Japan, huh? Come on. When's it happening?
Soon. Hopefully soon. I was, when the pandemic first started and I had to come back to Australia from England, I was in talks with Sendai again, and we like nearly had me there, but our Australian borders closed and they weren't letting anyone out, and that was devastating. I remember I got the call from the embassy, the Japanese embassy, at the gym, and I like broke down and I was like crying on the floor next to the treadmill because they're like, yeah, you can't go. And I was like, but I hope soon. I have this new goal, and it is to wrestle Rena at Korakuen Hall in a death match. And that is my goal.
Yeah. Right now, as we're filming, I think it's the GCW show where she's performing at, and she's doing a killer job right now. And you battled her. How was that?
It was amazing. I was so scared. Going into it, you know, like it was my first GCW show, and GCW had been like top of my list for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like my fourth death match ever. And, you know, people, I think, because I had like dabbled in it and like really wanted to get more into it, but where I was, you know, it's not, they don't run death matches all the time.
Yeah.
So I was at GCW against Arena. I was so nervous, and she like didn't get to the venue till quite late. So I'm just like backstage being like, oh my God, I'm so scared. But obviously I was such a big fan of her. Like one of my favorite wrestling photos ever is like one of her and she had just cracked glass over her head.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's just like fragments of glass in the air. It's just such a fucking cool photo. And yeah, I was so nervous because her, like, she doesn't speak a lot of English either. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's always not a struggle, but, you know, there is a bit of a barrier there just on, like, if there is any miscommunications. And obviously I want to do an amazing job, but she got there and we, like, got along really well. She's amazing. I was so scared, you know, they came over and they're like, okay, how many light tubes do you want? And at this point in my whole deathmatch career, I had done about 4 light tubes ever. 4. And she was like, 40. And I was like, and my heart just went, fuck, okay.
I guess, yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
you say.
And she's like, okay, first thing, like smashing them over each other's heads. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. And I went into it and I fucking loved it.
You
It was
did, you
amazing.
actually did 40?
Yeah, we did heaps. We did heaps. We did that big fan thing where she smashed
Yeah.
me over the head, which was
Saw that.
terrifying, you know, looking up at that. But that was fucking cool. That was crazy. And then at the end, she gave me her crucifix bomb. And she just kept grabbing tubes. Like, they just kept coming. And I was like, oh my God. And I wanted to, like, roll them away.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was awesome. She's fucking so cool. You know, like, my Japanese isn't very good, but I can say, like, basic things.
Mm-hmm.
So I could talk to her a little bit, which was really nice. And then the second day we did the NGI, and she asked if she could second me during my match. And I was like,
Yeah.
my new best friend, she's fucking awesome. She's amazing.
That's so. But we were talking about the juxtaposition between Manami Toyota and that photo book. Like, you have such range. I mean, you are absolutely gorgeous, but then you're just covered in blood. And you're doing, the
Covered in 40 light tube
Yeah,
shorts.
why not?
It's
Yeah,
the range. It's the range for me. It's the range for me.
I think
love it.
that is my like goal in wrestling as well, is just to be like really good at a lot of different styles. So I think
I mean, you're doing a great job.
Oh God, you're doing such a great
Thank you.
job.
Yeah.
Especially when you were wrestling in Japan. Like, I saw a few clips of you versus Miko Satomura, right?
yeah.
Didn't she? Yeah. Like,
That's
we gotta
crazy.
talk about that
I
experience.
mean, geez.
Let
Yeah.
us know about that.
Yeah, that was crazy. So like that whole, I met Miko in 2017. Shakira came over to the UK and did King of Trios, and they had Team Sendai girls there. So I met her in 2017. It was very like, hello, how are you? Like, I was terrified. They loved Shay though, because Shay used this like Lush like soap, and it had sparkles all over it, and so he was really sparkly. And they loved him. They were chasing him around, calling him like Sparkle Boy. And loved
Sounds
it.
right. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
On brand for
Yeah.
Shay.
Yeah.
So they loved Jay, and then they would come over more frequently over like the next coming years. And Millie had gone over there for a tour, and she had won the junior belt from
Mhm.
Sendai, and she came back and we wrestled for the belt on a show that Miko was at. And after it, she asked me if I would like to go and do a tour, which was crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's cool being asked to, go places and do like shows and stuff, but to be asked by like Satomura was just like one of the coolest things ever.
You've hit literally my 2 favorite Joshi wrestlers, Manami Toyota and Miko Satomura. How hard did you cry?
It was amazing. Like, I was just like my whole, like, since I started wrestling, all I wanted was Japan. That was the goal,
Yeah.
was to go to Japan. So that was just like a crazy, insane moment. And it came at such a pretty shit time in my life as well. Like personally, I was going through a lot of bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And to have that was just a shining light. I swear to God. It was just okay, no, everything's going to be okay. And then so I did that. Me and Millie spent a month out there together, which was awesome. It was it's just, you just have to just let go of everything. Do you know what I mean? You have no idea what's going on at any time, and I fucking love it. The first day, so we got there, we flew to Tokyo. From Tokyo, we got on this little tiny full-on propeller plane. It was so small, 30 people fit on it. Flew to Sendai because it's about 5 hours up from Tokyo. And the first day they're okay, tomorrow 8 a.m. at the dojo. So we're thinking, okay, we're going to training. So we rock up, gym clothes, ready to train. Oh, what size gum boots do you wear? We're what? Oh, what size shoes do you wear? And then we told them, okay, today we're going to plant rice.
I love that.
Yeah, so we went out on these rice fields.
I love that.
Yeah, it was awesome. When we got in, we were driving these tractors, planting rice, because Sendai have a partnership deal with this rice company, and they have their own little packets of rice with all the girls on them in little cartoons. And it was so cool. And then we sat down and had a meal with this one famous singer in Japan, and all these rice farmers, and we had a meal with them. And then we went back, and it was really cool. Miko came over maybe 9-10 months later to the UK, and she brought the rice that we had planted. Wow. It was really cool. It was really cool. I know.
That's a different type of mental training too. I've been gardening recently, trying to get my sanity back. And it's been really therapeutic for me, but it's hard work. So it's getting something that you produce, that you planted. Oh my God, I love that she brought the rice. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. Oh my God. Oh, Japanese rice is just next level. But yeah,
maybe we're going to try to get to Japan within the next few years. Maybe when we plan our trip, maybe we'll be back over there. Where do you, other than Sendai, where would you want to work promotion wise when you go back?
I think I have I think Sendai is my home, and if they allowed me to do other things, I love freedoms for deathmatch. I love Choco Pro. That. I would love to wrestle on those fucking mats. It's Connor's dream, I swear to God. That's all he fucking
Connor Pencil. It's gonna happen.
Wrestle Orange Cassidy, and he wants to do Choco Pro. That's all he cares about.
I love that.
And then
listen, if he needs a certain show or podcast to sponsor him,
we've done a Choco's Pro sponsorship before.
Oh my God.
We'll sponsor you as well.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
As long as y'all can team up with Lulu Pencil.
Yeah, right. You guys would look great in the pink overalls. I know that already. He probably owns a pair.
We've been looking to buy a pair. We bought a pink Lulu Pencil hat. But yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to do DDT. I think DDT is so fucking cool.
You would be, you would be sick in DDT.
Yeah, I think I like different wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just now getting into Japanese deathmatch, Joshi deathmatch wrestling on the channel. Alex can do death matches. I usually can't, but watching the Joshi death matches is so enjoyable for me. I have a great time, whereas I can't watch them anywhere else.
Well, I used to go, because in Brooklyn they have no ring death matches in a bar. So you're I've had light tubes fly to my face. It's I know I can't be a deathmatch wrestler, but I can be a connoisseur, if you will.
Yeah, behind
behind the biggest dude I can find.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Terrifying.
That's so incredible.
Yeah, they are. Terrifying.
Japan would be crazy. We train, which was so hard, but so rewarding. At the end of the day, it was so good. Just being, especially in Sendai, there's not a lot of Western people there, so you know, you'd have to really like try and pick up the language a little bit more, which I really liked. You know, I think it's really interesting, and my Japanese is terrible now because I haven't spoken it for so long. But when I was there, I was really trying to like, you know, you'd hear things and then you'd like Google what it meant and you just like add them to your repertoire. And I was doing like online classes for a while with a tutor when I thought I was going back, but then Australia was a dog and locked me in.
Hey, go ahead and pick them up now. Get the practice in now so you'll be ready for when you go back.
Right? Yeah, there was just some crazy stuff. Like, it was just crazy. Like, one time we were on a tour and we went to like an onsen after a show because we were driving overnight to the next town. And we had like 2 hours to kill at this onsen before we were getting back on the bus. And me and Millie were like, oh, okay, we'll go and get a massage. So we booked it in. Well, we thought we booked it in, and just like a neck and shoulders back sort of one. And when it was our time, they called us up and they told us to just go and take all of our clothes off. And then we laid next to each other with no clothes on, and they proceeded to like oil our whole body. We just had no idea what was going on. We were like, fuck it. And it's just one of like the craziest stories that like we have together.
I know that there's a lot of Korean spas that are like full nude. Were the onsens full nude as well?
Yeah, they were.
That's crazy.
I know, because we didn't really expect that. Like, I had never been to one before, and we went and we changed into like our bikinis.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah,
they're like, no, you can't.
Nude.
We're like, oh, okay. So we walked in, but obviously we just looked so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so all the eyes just turned, and it was like, oh fuck! But you just got to embrace it.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy it. It's just a cultural experience, and it's so cool because you're never gonna get that anywhere else. And
I don't think I could do them because of my tattoos. Yeah.
There's some that
allow it.
You're allowed tattoos.
Okay.
Yes.
I would have to do my research.
Yeah. They asked us beforehand. They're like, "Do you have tattoos?" And we're like, "No," but now I do. So I'll have to be careful.
That's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, some do, some don't.
Yeah. So who you fighting when you go back?
Rena is a must. Rena is, she's just so cool. Fuck, she's just amazing. I love wrestling Dash. I think she's crazy too. Chihiro is amazing. She's like a little truck. But yeah, I just like all the Sendai girls were so good. I loved wrestling them all. I love you. She's really cool. If I could do if I could wrestle guys while I'm over there, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really cool.
We want to see you beat up the men.
Yeah.
Charli
versus everybody.
Right? Please.
Charli versus the world.
Yeah.
That was my dream. But yeah, I hope I get to go back.
Oh, you will. You will. It'll happen.
It's just
come on,
country. I swear, it's just the best country.
Hopefully, we could all just link up. Let's just all go to Japan together.
Yeah,
meet us there.
It really is. It's just like nowhere I've ever been before. Like before that, I had been to like America and the UK, and I find them all pretty similar to Australia and all pretty similar to each other. Like obviously there is like some differences, but I've never been to like a non-English speaking country, and it honestly was like I got off the plane and I was in a whole different world that I had just never experienced before. The people are just so kind. Like they truly are. Like they're just so sweet and so respectful, and everything is just, it seems so organized. And you know, when I was in New York, I could not work out the fucking subway system to save my life.
She has to lead me around like I'm a baby. Like I'm the kid that they put on a leash so I don't wander off.
Charli, next time you're here, I got you. Yeah. Even
it's
for me, I'm born and raised here, and I still what is the G train?
Yeah.
Like, what is
it's so confusing. I was like, I have no idea. Let's hope for the best. But in Japan, I swear to God, it's so easy. Like, I was just wandering around by myself all day. And it was just like, okay, you feel safe as well, which is like a really I would never go out at night by myself here or in America or in England. You know what I mean? Like I would never just walk the streets at night, but I could walk the streets at 2 a.m. in Tokyo or anywhere else and I would feel so fine.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's really cool. It's a nice feeling. Like if I lost my phone or my wallet and I came back an hour later, it would be there.
That's...
You know, or the person would have hunted me down and given it back to me.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a
it would just be-
priceless feeling when you're in
Yeah.
another country where you don't speak the language. Like, that alone is scary. That's what intimidates me about going to Japan, is not being, I know a lot of people have said they do have a lot of people that speak English and everything's, you know, kind of labeled in English as well in that aspect, but like, it's still intimidating to go
Yeah.
out of the country to you know, a country that you don't necessarily understand their culture and their language, but to have
Yeah.
that like peace of mind that you can not have the anxiety of like being in trouble.
Yeah.
That's definitely like worth a lot. That's worth a lot.
Like you just feel, you know, it's like I felt like I was like home there, which is crazy to say for like somewhere that I had like newly been, but you just feel so safe and like everything's gonna be okay. And it's just amazing. Oh, it's the best.
Your face lights up when you talk about it, so we can tell.
Crazy.
It means...
I would use like every time I left, I would like bawl my eyes out on the plane. It was so sad.
Oh.
I was like, I don't want to go.
What's like the number one thing that you miss in Japan? Whether it's like sights or even like food.
Food. Oh, I can't wait for the food.
Oh my God. So like besides the wrestling, obviously, because that was like amazing, but there's this ramen place that is at Tokyo Station, but it's also up in Sendai, and it was really close to training. And it's like an all vegan ramen place. And fuck, it is so, it's called Teas, and it's so good.
My husband is vegan, so he's vegetarian, so he's gonna lose his mind.
Yeah, that was like a thing I was really concerned about, because I'm vegan, so going there, you know,
oh, okay,
it's very like, you know, fish and meat based.
Yeah.
So I was really scared, but there's so much you can eat. Like, honestly, this fucking vegan ramen place, oh my God.
Well,
I swear to God.
We'll have to keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that in the noggin. Maybe that's what'll happen if we're all in Japan at the same time. That's where we'll go to eat.
We'll go.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Full
so
circle.
good. I went there twice in one day once, and the guy was like, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't get enough. It's just so good.
You had me at ramen.
Yeah,
You're
the
like,
food is
sorry.
so good.
Yeah, you're like, sorry you had to see me again, but I just had to come back to get this
Yeah.
food.
I'm giving you more money. But yeah, the food's so good. The shopping is really good too. Like Harajuku is really cool.
Oh man.
Yeah, this big shopping strip, especially like Takeshita Street, is so cool.
I bet the street fashion is out of this world too in that area. Oh, yeah. That's like part of the reason why I want to go, is I just want to be able to see the street fashion.
It's so awesome. Like this one street is like Takeshita Street in Harajuku is really cool, and it's all like, you know, like modern-ish and like pretty cheap. I would get all these like platform boots from there that were fucking sick. They were really fucking cool. And then Harajuku Street, a bit further down, like really, it's expensive, but there's really cool like vintage stores on there, and like, yeah, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, you guys will love it. It's awesome.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's definitely
You
gonna
gotta
happen.
leave like extra room in your suitcase.
Oh yeah.
Just bring an extra suitcase.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right. It's so good. And they'll give you like discounts and stuff if you have your passport. Love it.
Oh my God. This just made me infinitely more excited.
It's so good. It's so good.
Wow, that's awesome. What was that like wrestling store? Because that was the store that you found the pictures, right?
Yeah, Tadukin.
Yeah.
Really cool. It's the one that has like all like Liger's masks and like Tiger mask masks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's so cool. Like, it's 2 levels, and you walk into the first one, and there's like Polaroids all over the wall of people that have been there, and it's really cool just standing there and like looking. And then it just has like magazines, like Wheelie Pro Wrestling magazines and DVDs and videos, like rows and rows and rows. And then you go upstairs, and it has like shirts, and like some shirts that people have signed, people's gear that you can buy, a lot of figures, which was really cool. My uncle is really into collecting figures, and I got him, what did I get him? Maybe a Tiger Mask figure, I think. And there's just so many. It was really, really cool. And then like photos and stuff like that. And then, oh my God, in this glass case they had Bull Nakano's entrance robe, that blue one, and you could buy it. And let me tell you how fucking close I was to buying that. But it was so expensive.
Oh,
but
sure.
honestly, maybe it probably would have been worth it.
Oh.
But yeah, it was like I was in awe. I think I have a photo of me just like I was
Like,
with my
yeah,
friend.
just even seeing it would
I was
be...
like
just breathing its
like
air.
on the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, they have some crazy stuff in there.
Because it's so hard to get a hold of in America. I mean, unless somebody's, you know, you either have to import it. I mean, getting merchandise in general in America, I can't even pay for our Stardom streaming account without my card being locked every month. So it's just like I would have to have a separate suitcase. I would, because I would just get so much stuff because it's so hard. It's so difficult to get here.
I feel like that's something that they should do in Japan is open up like a museum of just have all that gear. Could you imagine?
Yeah, I'm sure they could. There's so much stuff. I'm surprised they haven't, honestly.
Yeah,
this little
it's really
is like a little thing. But yeah, they have like all this stuff in there, and like it was just, it was so cool.
And then they had the Manami Toyota photo, and then the rest was history.
I know, right? Exactly.
I love that you just like found a singular photo. It wasn't the whole book, and then you were able to buy the book later. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
So is she your favorite? Like, do you have like a number one like OG?
Bull Nakano.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Number one.
She's Akira. I'm Manami.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, Akira's fun.
I love Akira.
Yeah. It's hard, and it's hard to choose just one. I mean, no offense to anybody watching this, I don't watch a lot of Western wrestling anymore. Like, I'm not really watching anything that's going on. I just care about Joshi because it's like once you tune into Joshi wrestling and you experience it, it's hard to get into anything else. It's just so different. It's
so good. Like, it's just so good. But yeah, I know it's hard to pick a favorite, but Bull Nakano, I think she's just so cool. Like, they're all fucking cool, but she's just so cool. Oh,
like, to me, she's like the face of Joshi wrestling for me. Like, when I think of Joshi wrestling, I see Bull Nakano's face.
Yeah, she's cool as hell.
Oh, they all are. And so are you.
Thank you. My uncle just bought me a Bull Nakano shirt and like this figure that has just been released, and it's like hanging on my wall now. And this shirt is fucking like glow in the dark. It's cool as hell.
Wow.
Ooh, that's really cool.
Like, yeah, she's so cool. I want to meet her so bad.
Well, we want to meet you in person real bad because you're so cool.
What the heck?
It'll happen.
Maybe in America or in Japan.
Yeah.
No, let's meet up in Japan.
Yeah.
Let's not deal with visas in America.
Don't come here.
You already. Let's not do that.
Don't come here.
Let's just go to Japan.
We'll be the first to tell you. We'll meet you in another country.
Yeah, we'll just do that and continue this amazing conversation from there. But Charli, we absolutely adore you, and like we truly are so honored that you chose us to help you promote this book, because like the concept of this book and the way that you came about it and how the stars aligned for you is so magical, and we are so excited to see
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yay, I'm so excited. I can't wait for everyone to see it. Like, it is the most, intimate thing I've ever put out anywhere. And, it's a scary thing to completely give yourself out to people, but I'm really excited. It means a lot, and I hope people love it as much as I do.
I know we most definitely will. We will be hawking that book everywhere we can to make sure that it sells out. So
we'll be the proud like aunts of like, did you see our friend Charli's book? Look at this. Look at this photo. It's great. Yeah. Do you know her story? Check out this YouTube video. Oh man, thank you so much. Tell everyone where they can follow you, promote anything else that you need to do. Floor's all yours.
Yeah. Thank you. So Charli Evans Pro on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be posting all the links to the book there. If you're on my OnlyFans or want to subscribe to it, you'll get 20% off for the book, which is amazing. And then if not, it'll be 10% off for the first few days. and hopefully it sells out. And I would love it to sell out. But yeah, Charli Evans Pro on everything.
We're manifesting a sellout.
It will sell out.
We're manifesting a
It
sellout.
will sell out.
There's very
little.
little.
We're blessing you that it will sell out.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, thank you. And everyone that's watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe, do all the things, and buy Charli Evans' book. Or else.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
9th.
exactly.
The 9th.
The 9.
Keep an eye on her socials. We will also have the link in the description so you can buy the book as soon as it comes out. Charli, thank you. This is so great.
Thank you so much. I loved it.